Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So if you saw my other video, then you kind of got a little preview of my little DIY quarantine cut, but I wanted to share this bounce curl routine with you since this, I need a wash day, clearly. So first I cleansed my hair and then I wet plopped with these shower caps and simply just, I did that with a little bit of watered down conditioner, and I'll have everything that I use linked down below. And then I am going to separate my hair into 3 sections. Now this is something new that I started doing. I always make sure that my parts are kind of like zigzag because, you know, I am going through my curl rehab and I feel like my hair is a little more, like it's thinner, so it's a little more see-through. So I find that by making sure the parts aren't like perfectly straight, it kind of makes my hair look thicker and more cohesive at the end. So for the first styling product, I'm going to use the Bounce Curl Moisture Balance Leave-In, and I used a little bit more than I wanted to use, so I'm just going to show you a little trick. If you use too much product, just go ahead and kind of like with your makeup, just go back and forth between the 2 sides and just kind of make sure that it's evenly distributed, and then go ahead and smooth in the product. And as you see, I'm using the praying hands method as always. But another thing that I always make sure to do to really help with definition is I kind of like pick up clumps and sections of hair and I smooth those down. And then of course, I always finish by scrunching because this is going to really encourage your curl. Now, I'm still in the process of moving, so I couldn't find my regular size defining Butta, but luckily I had my little travel size, so I'm using a little bit of that. This is a little heavier, so like I said, just use a little bit if your texture is like mine, and the thicker your hair is, then you can use more. So I'm smoothing that in the same way I did the leave-in, and just making sure to work in those sections and to pick up areas that I really know I kind of struggle with at the end with my results, and I just help to define those. And I found that this really helps. So before I move on to the next section, I scrunched that just like I said to encourage the curl, and this is what we're working with so far. And now it's time to move on to the top section, and you're going to do the same thing. So smooth on the leave-in and make sure you pick up sections of hair. As you see, I am directing them upward and forward because this is going to help with volume. My hair, a lot of people think I have thick hair, but it's actually really fine, and I have to kind of manipulate it to get the volume that I want. So as you see, I'm smoothing it, like I said, directing it forward, and then I'm going in with just a tiny bit of the defining Butta, and I'm doing the same thing. Then to kind of get everything to be cohesive, we're then going to work the gel in as one big section. But first, like I said, make sure you pick up sections of hair and direct those how you want. And this is really going to help. And I'm not finger coiling. I'm just smoothing down kind of like you do with the string of a balloon, like when you go to Party City. So then I'm scrunching. You can never scrunch enough, especially if your hair is wet. And then, like I said, I'm going to go in with the gel. Now, I like to always start in the back area when I use my gel just because I want the most of the product to be there. I feel like that area is the area that's always rubbing when I'm drying. And you know, after you're done styling, the area gets the most like friction on your clothes. So I always like to start there. And then as you see, I worked it in and scrunched throughout the layers. And like I said, this is just going to help to bring everything together so your hair doesn't, you know, look obviously like you sectioned it separately. And then I'm using my Aquise towel to scrunch out the excess water and product before I wet plop for a few minutes, and then I'm going to diffuse. And I do have a video on wet plopping, and I'll have that linked for you guys. So like I said, after I wet plop for a few minutes, I did go in and diffuse, and I have this diffuser and dryer in my Amazon store. And then once my hair was about 90% dry, I decided to net plop. So you guys have probably seen this video, and if you haven't, I'm going to get a better video going, just kind of really to show because I didn't realize it was cut off. But I used Fishnets, and I got this from Penny, and I'll have her page linked below. She used a net, and it was too small for me, so I decided to use Fishnets, and this just seems to really work way better. This helps give you some volume at the end, and like I've said in a lot of my videos, kind of play around with this method and see what works best for you. Just make sure when you tie up your fishnets, don't make them too tight. Don't smoosh your hair down or this will not work. I have these fishnets in my Amazon store, and what I do is I kind of just use the leg part and wrap those around as a headband, and then I just get to diffusing. Now here's the thing: when you are net plopping, you can do this when your hair is soaking wet, you can do this halfway through, you can do it at the end like me, it's up to you. You can use hairspray, or you can use, right now I'm using the Rawa air dry spray just because I like something that helps to give my hair a little bit more volume and hold. So I always like to use either a hairspray or just some type of spray when I am net plopping. And then you could take off the diffuser because your net is kind of diffusing it for you. And I use my hand to direct the air, and this is going to help speed up the drying process. And like I said, it really helps the definition, and you just play around with the method. So after that, I take the fishnets off and I just shake up my curls, separate my curls. And of course, you guys know I love to pick out my roots. So then this is when I do all of that, and then I'm basically done. And so just let me know down below what you guys think about this routine. How do you guys like my little DIY cut? I will do a video kind of explaining what I did later on. So, you know, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss that. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you for my next video. All right, bye.